welcome to another reading lesson with Miss Meadows. I am so excited to be reading with you, and I am excited to be doing a reread of our story, The Black Rabbit, today. So you are going to need your My Books, you are going to need a pencil eventually, and then your iPad and your headphones, and you should be all ready to go. Our vocabulary today is our power words from our story that we're going to review, but we're going to start with our anchor chart instead of our vocabulary today. So our anchor chart today is on story structure. And that is kind of, think of it like a roller coaster, like this anchor chart presents to you. Stories often have a similar structure. Authors organize stories in a way that will entertain readers. So the reason that authors write stories a lot of time is to entertain you. And that means to make it so that you enjoy listening to their story and that it's fun and exciting for you. So think of it as a roller coaster, and you start in the beginning over here, and in the beginning the characters face a problem. So think of it as like you're on a roller coaster and you're looking at that hill, okay? You're looking up and you're thinking, whoa, that's a problem because I'm about to go up that hill and I don't know what that means. In the beginning they're facing that problem. Then you go up the hill to the middle, so now you're in the middle of the story. And the middle is made up of events that happen as the characters try to solve the problem. So they see the problem at the beginning, they go up to the middle, and now they're trying to solve that problem because that problem can't just stick around. So they're now trying to solve the problem. They're at the top of the hill on the roller coaster, and then they go down the hill to the end of the roller coaster. And the end tells the resolution or the solution, how the characters solve the problem. So we've got beginning, there's a problem. Uh-oh, we got a problem. Middle, how are we going to solve the problem? And we solved the problem. Does that make sense? It looks kind of like that. And all of those things make up a story's plot. So when we say what happens in the story, we mean the story's plot. The plot is the things that happen in the story. So, luckily, we are reading the same fun story today that you are kind of already familiar with. This story is called The Black Rabbit. We read it yesterday. It's a fantasy story. That means it has made-up events that couldn't really happen. We're going to be looking for animal characters that talk or act like people. So remember, that means that it's a fiction story because it couldn't really happen because animals can't really talk. So it can't be a real story because we've got rabbits that talk, right? It's got a problem and a resolution, which we're going to be looking for today when we're reading. And then we're going to be looking at the pictures to help us understand the story. Our power words, remember, are bank. Can you say bank? A bank is the land right next to a river or stream. Trembling. Can you say trembling? If you are trembling, you are shaking because you are afraid. Trembling. Relief. Can you say relief? You feel relief when you know you can stop worrying about something. Nibbled. Can you say nibbled? Very good. If you nibbled on something, you took teeny tiny small bites of it. Scrambled. Can you say scrambled? If you scrambled, you move really quickly to hurry. And last one is tight. Can you say tight? If something is shut tight, nothing can get in or out. So that was our review of those words. When we're reading today, we're going to be making inferences like we talked about yesterday. And we're going to be looking at the beginning where they face the problem, the middle where they solve the problem, and the end where the middle where they try and solve the problem, and then the end where they do solve the problem. Now this works really good. Come here, I'm gonna come really close. I'm gonna tell you a secret. Come all the way here, all the way up. This works really well with your gem board because for your gem board, one of your sapphire gems, not sapphire, sorry, don't listen to Ms. Meadows. One of your emerald gems is beginning, middle, and end. And we're going to be talking about that, so it should be really easy to earn an emerald gem today, just so you know. Okay? All right. Now that we're ready, now that secret time is over, let's get started. Alrighty, so our story today is called The Black Rabbit by Philippa Leathers. Rabbit woke up one morning and stepped out of his burrow into the bright sunlight. It was a beautiful day. But something was wrong. He was not alone. Rabbit was scared. "Go away, Black Rabbit," he cried. But the Black Rabbit did not move. Already, I see at the beginning of our story, we've got our problem. What's the problem? White Rabbit is scared of the Black Rabbit. He's scared of him. He doesn't know what it is. He's scared it's like a big monster. Already, we're in here and we've already got our number one big problem. That's our problem. That's our beginning. We found our problem. We're facing our problem. We're at the bottom of that roller coaster. Let's see what happens next. Rabbit ran, but the Black Rabbit was right behind him. Rabbit ran even faster. "Black Rabbit won't find me here," thought Rabbit, and he hid behind a tree. But when Rabbit stepped out from behind the tree, there was Black Rabbit right in front of him. Okay, so we're in the middle of our story now because we're figuring out different ways to solve the problem. Rabbit tried running away. He tried hiding behind a tree. Did those work? No, he's still where he is. So let's try again. Maybe he's not a good swimmer like me, thought Rabbit, and he jumped into the river and swam to the other side. But as he pulled himself up onto the bank, the Black Rabbit climbed out of the water too. Okay, we're still in the middle. We're still trying to solve that problem. He tried running. He tried running faster. He tried hiding behind a tree. He tried swimming. Did any of those work? Nope, so they haven't solved his problem yet. But we're still trying to solve the problem, so we're still in the middle of the story. "What do you want?" cried Rabbit, trembling. "Why are you following me?" But the Black Rabbit did not reply. Rabbit began to run again, faster and faster than he had ever run before, straight into the deep, dark wood. So this could be another possible solution to his problem. He could go into the deep, dark wood, and that could help him to get out. The forest was dark and quiet. The Black Rabbit was nowhere to be seen. Now, if you were reading this story for the first time, you might think Rabbit solved his problem. But we know, because we're reading the story for the second time, that is this going to solve his problem? Maybe for a second, but not completely, because he's out of the sunlight, so he's escaped his shadow for just a second. But this is not going to solve his problem totally. Let's see what happens. With a sigh of relief, Rabbit sat down and nibbled a carrot until he noticed two eyes shining brightly in the dark. "Oh no," thought Rabbit. "The Black Rabbit has found me." But it was not the Black Rabbit. Rabbit ran as fast as he could out of the deep, dark forest with Wolf close behind him. Then he tripped. Skipped a page. Rabbit scrambled to his feet, but it was too late. He shut his eyes tight and waited for Wolf to attack. But nothing happened. Uh-oh. Rabbit is waiting, but Wolf looks scared. I wonder what's going to happen. Because there, standing in the sunlight behind Rabbit, was the Black Rabbit. Why is that Black Rabbit behind him? Because it's his shadow, right? Let me move myself. Whoop! Rabbit smiled, and somehow he knew that the Black Rabbit was smiling back. Hand in hand, they bounced off across the field. So that's now the end of our story. They solved the problem. He realized that the Black Rabbit, even though we know it's his shadow, he realized that it's actually a friend of his who saved him from the wolf and not the bad monster that he thought it was. So what I'm going to now have you do is I'm going to set you free to your gem board. You can go ahead and you can work on those papers. But I'm going to kind of talk you through how you could kind of get a free emerald if you listen to Miss Meadows right now. So if you're interested in earning an emerald, I'd listen up if I were you. Our Emerald page talks about beginning, middle, and end of our story. And as we were reading, we really talked about the beginning, the middle, and the end. At the beginning of our story, at the bottom of our roller coaster, Rabbit encountered the black rabbit for the first time and was scared of him. He didn't know what to do with him. He was scared. So he got really scared of the black rabbit, and that was his problem at the beginning. In the middle, he tried different ways to get rid of the black rabbit. He tried to run away. He tried to hide behind a tree. He tried to swim. He tried hiding in the forest, and none of those things worked. So he's trying to solve the problem. And the end of our story, our solution, was that the black rabbit ended up scaring the wolf away from him, and he realized the black rabbit wasn't trying to hurt him after all. The black rabbit was actually a friend of his, or his shadow, we know as the readers. So that's kind of, if you follow all my directions and if you need to re-listen or rewatch the video, you could get an emerald so easy right now. So go ahead, give that a try. You could also do Ruby, and you could do a new start or a new end to the story. Maybe you could do, remember for that one though, that a Ruby means a different start or end. Not to write the end of the story. You would need to come up and be creative with a different end to the story. So maybe, for example, your different end to the story is maybe Rabbit does realize it is his shadow. Or maybe at the end, he says Rabbit ends up being the one who stands up to the wolf instead of the black rabbit. You choose, but have fun with those gems. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you're close to filling up those jars. And otherwise, I will see you next time. Bye, friends.